What's up, everybody? I'm back with another episode of the Keep Going podcast. Today's guest is Hannah Moses. She's a former collegiate athlete who knows firsthand what it means to push through adversity and keep going. Throughout her college career, she faced challenges that tested her mentally and physically, but perseverance and grit kept her moving forward. Today, she pours that same resilience into coaching as an AAU U15 boys basketball coach, focused on developing not just better athletes, but confident young men on and off the court. We get to discuss her journey through college, the ups and downs, what it was like to find her true identity, why her heart is so big and she chooses to love first, and just why she pushes so hard for positivity, care, attention to detail, and just always pushing through. I can't thank her enough for her vulnerability and coming on this platform. Moses, I appreciate you so much. I hope you all enjoy this episode. As always, keep going. Thank you for keeping up with the podcast, but also It's nice to reconnect. I had said we didn't spend a ton of time together in college, but enough to have a relationship. And then now for you to want to come on here and talk is meaningful. I appreciate it. Thank you. But we'll just roll right into it. I know you were kind of wanting to talk about your college career, sports, your goals, what that journey was like. So start wherever you want to, and I'll start getting curious.
So graduated from Cashin, Oklahoma, 2010. That was like top 15. I want to brag, but not really that cool. It's 36 kids. So like I always try to, hype myself up. And then I wanted to play college sports. I knew that's what I wanted to do. So a buddy of mine was like, my best friend actually, she was like, hey, I want to go to NOC Tonkawa. It's closer to Stillwater. It's a JUCO school. Get our basics out of the way, and then we just go live at large in Stillwater. And I was like, let's go. Like, my home life's not that great. Like my dad and stepmom were together at that time, and my stepmom and I just was still not good. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. Like, let's do this. I get enrolled, get accepted. I get on the softball team at NOC. Mind you, I hadn't played much of my senior year. I broke my ankle sliding into second base. It was devastating. Like that was the year for me to like get out there and get noticed. And
was that your main sport, softball?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I did basketball because my cousin Bailey, she's a hooper, Bailey Welch. You look her up and she's everywhere. She won state tournament or state championship in I think her sophomore year. Wow. Made a last second shot against Howe, and it was like the shot around the state is what the newspaper said. So I moved from North Carolina because my parents had divorced, and so I was like, you know what, I want to live with my dad. Like, I'm a daddy's girl. And Dad was like, well, if you live with me, we're going to Cashin. And I was like, let's go. So but basketball was always like my cousin's sport, and I was a beast at softball. Freshman year to senior year, I only recorded 10 strikeouts the whole time. Wow. No home runs, surprisingly. I mean, a few were there, but I was more of just like a place power hitter. And first base, like that was my spot. I did splits. I did it all.
What's the splits mean? Sorry. Splits,
like where you literally have like your foot on the corner of the base and you're stretching out to catch that ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And, my freshman coach will call me Stretch because that's all it was.
So when you got to NOC, that's what it was for?
Softball. Yeah, softball, but I didn't get to play at NOC. I signed on as a manager. So that was humbling, real humbling. Just because I thought I was best of the best. I thought I was God's gift to earth, to be honest, in softball. And but my coach was like, let's see how this goes. You're, as a freshman, and then maybe we'll talk about signing you on like for a scholarship. I was like, all right, cool. Well, then she told me I had a scholarship to be a manager, and it was just going to pay like books and tuition. I was like, oh, dope. Okay, cool. I was going in not expecting anything. First semester went great, 4.0. I was smart. Like I didn't do anything. I washed the uniforms. Kind of felt like Cinderella, honestly, but I got everything done. I learned more about the game of softball than I thought I had already knew. I learned how to take stats correctly, like by paper, because, they have the iPads doing the game changer and scorebook on. And learned how to really properly take care of the softball field. I didn't really know like, oh, you need to drag it to make it look pretty, or like the bases, they're always white. Well, they're not always brand new. You spray paint them. And so I kind of learned more about that and went on. Honestly, it was a great experience. We traveled to Alabama to play in a tournament, and then we got to go to, like, on the way there, we went to, I think it was like Arkansas State, scrimmaged them, practiced at their facility, went to Alabama State and practiced there. And it was pretty cool. One of my best friends, actually just had a conversation with her today. We've been friends for 15 years. And I was like, hey, I came in like a wrecking ball, but I'm still here. You're welcome.
Yeah, right.
She was like, that's appreciated. But then the downhill slide came for me. I got bullied a lot. I'm a bigger, heavy-set girl. And one of the girls on the team was like, well, we had pizza that day. We had a doubleheader, and our coach got us pizza in between games. Well, I'd already grabbed 2 slices. I was like, I want more. There's extras. Like, they said we could have extra. And all the girls, they're playing, they can't eat more. And I'm up in the press box just keeping score and doing music. So I went down and grabbed 3 slices. And this girl was like, dang, Hannah, save some for the rest of us. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I told my best friend, and she was like, you know what? We're going to play a prank on her. I was like, okay. So we hit her cornhole boards around the campus. Did the whole black hoodie style, stole them in the night. And they caught me because my hoodie said Wichita State. And you could see the yellow lettering of Wichita State.
And then you wore it again.
Not my finest hour.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, we have those for sure.
Yeah. And then I had gotten the phone call from the coach, and she was like, yeah, sorry, we can't have dishonest players on the team, so I'm going to ask you to leave. And I was like,
off of one thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, I owned up to it. I didn't crash out, as the kids would say, or freak out like that. And I was like, all right, cool. I appreciate it. And I was like, would there be a future chance for me to redeem myself? Could I come back and try out next year? And she's like, yeah, no, we don't want you. And then she had replaced me like that 30 minutes later, right after that. And that's when I learned that no matter what, you're always replaceable. You're not the person. And so, it was rough. It was rough. So I just kind of partied the rest of my freshman year away. And then one of my best friends said, hey, come try out for basketball. Just come try it. Because I would always play pickup with them. And that's how I met Shaq.
At the same gym? At the same school?
At the same school. We played pickup together and stuff. And my best friend was like, we need a post player. Like, come on, just come out. I was like, okay. So I talked to Coach Krause, and he was like, yeah, come on. He's like, I can't give you a scholarship. You'll be a walk-on. And I was like, I don't care. I just want to hoop. I just want to play. I want to be a part of something. Because at that time, I didn't really have family in Oklahoma still.
You're from North Carolina?
Well, I'm from Kansas originally, Wichita, Kansas. Okay. I don't really like to claim Wichita.
Why do people not like it? What's wrong with it?
I just don't know.
Because people I know from there say that.
It's like when growing up there, it was great. And then probably when I moved, obviously, and I come back and it just got dirtier. It just felt that, I don't know, something in the air. You just feel grimy and dirty. And it's like, nah, this isn't it. This is because you anywhere you go in Wichita, there's a Quick Trip, there's a liquor store, and a church, all right in a corner of each other. And so I'm just
that's the theme.
Yes. And so I was like, you know what? I don't like this. I don't want it. But I mean, I had my aunt and uncle in college and stuff like that, but they lived in Morrison, which is not very far from Tonkawa and Stillwater. But I didn't really, I don't know, felt worthy, if that makes sense. Just because I was always a daddy's girl, daddy this, daddy that, and whatever. And he made it very well known that I was the favorite child. So it was kind of hard for me when he decided to like really detach and then go start his new life in Kansas. And so like he went back home, and I was like, all right, so I got to stand on my own 2 feet.
That's why you leaned into the school camaraderie.
Yes, because I felt like I belonged. I had something to live for, honestly. So I did the tryout, and I walked on. And I hustled that summer. Dad was like, you can come stay with us this summer, but next summer you can't stay here. And I was like, all right, cool. Stepmom didn't really like that I didn't have a job and I wasn't helping out. But I mean, all I did was I woke up, I worked out, I went and played for hours of basketball at the local park against grown men.
And this is after your freshman year?
Yeah, after a freshman year in college. So played basketball against all these grown men, and I've just got better. And I want to say leaner, maybe like physicality wise, but I felt good. Mm-hmm. I felt good coming into the season. And then, so basically I was told that since I was a freshman, kind of starting over, I was a freshman all over again on the basketball team. I was like, oh, okay, cool. No big deal. Like whatever. JUCO, you could go 3 years. So it's like a super seniors or fifth year senior. So it'd be super sophomore.
Okay.
And, it was a smart move for me anyways, personally, because I'm not very academically gifted. I graduated high school by the skin of my teeth.
You and the 15 others.
Yeah. And so, the freshman year, my first year, it was awesome. I didn't get to travel much, which I knew going in. I was like, you know what? There's 6'2" girl. I'm 5'10". There's going to be people better than me. And I was okay with that.
That mentality, though, for a walk-on is tough because it's like you earn a spot, but you're always like at the last spot, I feel like, if that makes sense, because I was a walk-on as well. Yes,
and so like you had something to prove every day. And so I will never forget the assistant coach at the time, Amy Pryor. I often wonder where she's at now, but she's probably one of my favorite coaches I've ever had.
There's always one.
Yes, yes. And she... to kind of like build the team camaraderie and try to get that chemistry up for us was she would show us like videos weekly, like how to boost the team morale. Like even though you're not playing, you're still making a difference on the bench. And so I was tight with the cheerleaders because we all lived in the same dorm. And so I started being a cheerleader on the bench. And so I was like, because Amy or Coach Pryor had said, even if you're not playing, you can still be the loudest cheerleader on the bench. And there's people that get scholarships for that. So I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. That's going to be me.
That takes a lot of heart, honestly.
Yes. And, as much as I want to say, I was a great athlete, all state, blah, blah, blah. No, I wasn't any of that. I was probably your average athlete. Could I have applied myself more? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I think I just really liked more of the sense of being in a community because I didn't really felt like I belonged to anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so Coach Pryor, when she said, you could still get scholarships to move on and do all this, I was like, all right, this is my goal. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the ultimate hype person. And so Hype Hannah just kind of came to be. So then fast forward to my super sophomore year.
So you got 2 years of basketball.
Yep,
right?
2 years of basketball. And back then it counted when you go on to a 4-year school. Not like now where you play 2 years at JUCO and then you could start over at a 4-year school. And that's how, excuse me, like Diego Pavia, like guys like him are being able to play 5, 6, 7 years in college football because they play JUCO. So now they can just start over.
That's so wild.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and then NIL, don't get me started on the NIL deals. It just angers me.
So as far as the NOC, though, it was a pretty good experience once you got involved with basketball?
Until super sophomore year. I mean, any other college athlete, you're going to party, you're going to do the things. I did that. Hype Hannah, I was also known as where's the party going to be at? And so I did that. But super sophomore year, towards the end, we got a new assistant coach. His name was Coach Macy. He gave us like workouts the summer before we came back, and I did those workouts. I did my shot chart. I did, back to the park and I played. And I worked at the community pool in Winfield, Kansas. And so, I was the pool cleaner. So like hauling that equipment, that was heavy. So that was a workout. Yeah. And you have to like push like a 15-foot pole up and down. And So,
a lot more working than you know.
yes,
Like
yes. I would come home like sore, and I'm like, what is wrong? Lived with my mom's best friend from college. My stepmom didn't want me to come back, so I was like, all right, cool.
Still a different style of living because you're always kind of bouncing.
Yes.
North Carolina, Kansas,
Yes.
Oklahoma, back to Kansas, mom's friend, like kind of bouncing around.
Definitely. And, now that you say that, I didn't really notice that as it happened. And so my mom's best friend, I call her Mama Colleen. She's awesome. She has a daughter named Grace, and Grace and I really clicked and hit it off. And Grace has a son named Oliver, and he was probably like 2 or 3, and his thing was giving the eyes, and he would just raise his eyebrows.
And that's when you're at your super sophomore.
Yeah, so super,
like, 20?
Yeah, I was about
21.
21-ish. And so as the season, get on to the school year, get ready, gearing up for the season, Coach Krause announced that, hey, even though you're a walk-on, he did this to everybody. He's like, you may be a walk-on or you may not be, but you're going to, like, every away game, you're going to play for a travel spot, basically.
Oh, nice.
And so I was like, all right, bet. I'm doing this.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like competition every time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let's do it. Like, I'm down. And I was going up against my teammates. We had a girl from Serbia who was like 6'4", had a girl from Uganda who went on to play at Valdosta State. I think, no, yeah.
You were working to say
the
least.
She was 6'3", 6'4", and I'm like, golly. And people from Uganda or from overseas in general, they play a lot more rougher than here because they don't call fouls as much as they do, like they do here.
Interesting.
So if you hear about it, like some college athletes that are from different countries, they're like, yeah, we had to spend like at least a year in America to get used to the fouls because overseas, you could punch somebody in the face and still go. Like you wouldn't get anything called.
I wonder if it's like that for men too.
I would assume
because they always
so.
like joke with the men being like softer
yes.
on the Euros, but it seems like the women were tougher. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I would have never thought of that.
I would have never thought of that either. Mm-hmm. And so, every day was a battle. I grinded out. I was in the gym. I was in the weight room. I did everything I could. And then I had dislocated my kneecap and had some cartilage floating around. So I had to go in for surgery, get that done. So I rehabbed it, came back, awesome. Got to travel. We went to Colorado Springs. It's where I got my first double-double. I was pretty pumped. We played at the Air Force Base in Colorado, and we went up with this woman. She scared me. Not even gonna lie.
The one you were guarding?
Yeah, the one I had to guard because the girl from Serbia and Uganda, they had foul trouble, and my coach was like, "All right, Hannah, get in. You're in it." And I was like, oh, "Crap!"
Yeah. You don't get any prep.
No, not at all. I knew that the girl drove in the paint real hard and that she had real good post control. And I was like, okay, I need to at least step up my defense mainly. Mm-hmm. Everything else will fall through. But I balled out that game. And then I was dying because of the altitude and everything. And I was like, oh, this is rough. Mm-hmm. But Coach Krause was like, all right, I can see what you're doing. All right, you're working. And
double is points and rebounds? Or
yeah, what? Points and rebounds. I had I think I finished with like 14 and 10.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like.
So much harder if you're like 8 inches shorter than the lady.
Yes.
You're like working so much harder.
Oh, yeah.
For those
I
rebounds.
boxed this girl out all the way to the wall.
That's really how you have to do it.
Yes, honestly. Coaches always tell you put your butt in the gut, and so I did it.
Yeah. You can't box out too much.
No.
Right.
There's no such thing.
That's cool that your first shot, though, you got a double-double. That's
awesome.
I
was really, it was exciting. And then the uphill battle from there went, and I got more playing time, and then as soon as we hit Christmas break, the downhill slide went. I saw less and less decrease in time playing, and he really relied more on their taller girls and stuff like that. Yes, they were athletically more inclined than I was, but I started getting frustrated, so I started really just kind of mentality wise just letting it go. I had gotten a concussion went up for a rebound, and a girl just took my ponytail and just yeeted me to the floor. And so I was out a good 2-3 weeks with that one. That was rough. And then they have sophomore nights, so like senior nights. And I had my mom fly in from North Carolina, my grandma, my aunt from Michigan. Like everybody was coming to see me play because, one, they didn't think I was ever going to be a college athlete. Two, when my mom decided to let me live with my dad at 16, the first thing that her side of the family said was, she's going to drop out and be pregnant by 17. So just prepare it yourself.
And now here you are, 21 as an athlete.
Yeah, college athlete, graduated high school, and about to graduate JUCO, and I'm playing. I got special permission from coach. My stepbrother had gotten leukemia at that time. So I wanted to do something special for him. So he got to come out, and we wore shirts that said "Play for Matt."
Wow.
And so, the color for leukemia is orange. And so I'd asked Coach Krause, I was like, look, this is something really important to me, and I would just like to know if we could do this. If not, I'll never talk about it again. And he was like, yeah, and I'll see if the other team wants to do it too. I'm like, all right, cool. So we made shirts and gave it to the other team, and it was really cool. It was a really cool thing.
That's a huge moment.
Yes. And so it was sophomore night. My mom, like everybody was there, like I said, and we were losing. It was bad. I think we were playing Connor State, and they're pretty good and talented. And then I noticed, first quarter, I'm like, all right, cool. I knew I wasn't going to go in. Usually I went in about third, fourth quarter, clean it up. Then I noticed that it was fourth quarter. It was like 2 minutes left to go. And I'm the only one on the bench that had not played yet. And so, like, I looked down and I was like, I'm still in my play for Matt shirt, my warm-up shirt. I was like, what is going on? Like, what have I done? Like,
especially for him to do that for you, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. And so then my mom noticed it, and she was like, it's okay, baby girl. Like, you got this. It's okay. And a minute goes by, and there's about 30 seconds, actually. A minute and 30. Coach calls a timeout, and we were down by like 20 or 30 at this point. And my mom's like, let her play. Like, we came all this way. Let her play. All of a sudden, she starts a "Let Hannah Play" chant, or "We Want Hannah" chant through the whole gym.
And the gym jumps on it?
Yes.
Holy crap.
I was like, oh no. I just wanted to like just hide.
Yeah, that's like, a lot.
I was like, oh my gosh. Well, then my coach, like my mom was yelling at my coach.
So now he doesn't want to give in.
No, but then he turns around and goes, you want to see her play? Okay, princess, I'll put your effing daughter in. And I was like,
This is weird.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I am not. He's like, get on the court. Your mother wants it. And I was like, all right. So I check in. And then like the whole place just went nuts. The whole place.
They were hyped?
Yes, they were hyped. They're like, let's go.
That's so wild.
And I was like, this is not happening. And my teammates were like, hey, you're going to be point guard. I said, no, I'm not. I was like,
everyone bought in. Wow.
They're like, we know he did you dirty. Like, come on, just buy into it. I said, I will not. I said, I will buy into it, but I will not be the point guard because I trip and dribble. Like, no. And so my team is like, we're just going to feed you the ball down low. That's all we're going to do. And you set a screen, pick and pop, hit the three. And I was like, all right.
And you only have a minute and a half?
Yeah.
Golly.
I scored 6 points in a minute and a half.
You're hustling.
Yeah, I was hustling. I was like, I'm not going to lose by 20 and this be my last game. Game was over. We lost by 15. And coach didn't even shake my hand after the game. Didn't want to meet my family. I mean, rightfully so at that point, but he didn't even talk to us after the game. He just said, good game, girls, way to rally, and then locks himself in his office. And I'm looking at everyone. Everyone's looking at everyone. We're like, what the heck? And even Coach Macy was like, this is weird. And never got to talk to him about it after that because it was sophomore night. We just needed to focus on regionals. And so this is where the great Hannah Moeller and Coach G come in. We go to play, I think, in Shawnee. Was it OBU? Yeah, we go out there to play. And we play NOC Enid, our rivals, where I got to meet Reagan. I don't know if you remember Reagan. Mm-hmm. That's how I knew her, was we played against her.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
And so we get blown out. And as a unit, they were always faster, tougher. They could shoot the ball well. So we knew going in it was going to be a battle, and we had to be some sort of different. At halftime, like we were up by 2, and I was like, okay, we got this. Like this, I'm going to be the best freaking cheerleader this team has ever seen. And they didn't get to play that game at all. And I was like, it's fine. But like I was there even in the timeouts, like hyping my teammates up, like, yeah, we're down by 10. It's fine. We can still get a couple of quick buckets and we'll be back into it. Like we're only down by like 4 possessions. We can do this. We ended up losing by 6, and it was heartbreaking. And so, and I'm crying. Everyone's there. Like we're all hugging each other. And later when I found out, Coach Mo was like, yeah, I kept circling around you. Like me and Coach G kept circling around you because she's like, we were watching Reagan, but then we noticed you and your style, like how you were hyping your team up. You were cheering them on. You were, doing the arrows with the 3, like you were doing it all. That's what we wanted.
Kind of crazy to get that affirmation from what that other coach said.
Yes. And it didn't click until I was signing my letter of intent. And I was like, oh my gosh.
It worked. Yeah.
This freaking worked. Like, this is nuts. Mm-hmm. And so, but yeah, I didn't know any of that. I just was so focused on just my team and crying and like, what am I going to do after? So, couple weeks later, Coach Mo calls and she's like, hey, it was Hannah Owen at the time. And she's like, hey, this is Coach Hannah Owen at Hillsdale Free Will Baptist. We're in Moore, Oklahoma. And I was like, where's that? Like, I only know Oklahoma City or Edmond. That was my city.
Right.
And she's like, we're just south on I-35, right before you hit Norman. I was like, all right, cool. And she's like, come out for a tryout. Okay. Sounds good. She's like, actually, don't even consider a tryout. It's more of like a meet and greet, get to know you, and a workout. I was like, all right, cool. The second, I went with my uncle, and my uncle cracks me up every time I tell the story. He's like, yeah, you can tell you were out of shape because you were sucking all the air out of the gym.
Hey, well, that workout shape or college shape is different.
It's a different beast. Mm-hmm. Like you think you are in shape, but you're not. Mm-hmm. And I had a good experience. I met, Megan Malloy, who's now head coach at Midwest City, and I'll never forget it. Coach Mo introduced me as Moses because her name was Hannah, and then you had the manager Hannah, and they're like, "You're not going to go by Hannah, you're going to go by Moses." And I was like, "All right." And Megan comes up, she's like, "My name's Megan, but it's really Noah because I make it rain." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I only knew you as Moses.
Yeah, and so. I met everybody, Kayla and Amy and everybody. And as soon as I stepped on campus, I was like, okay, it's small. And that's what I need. I need small class sizes in order for me to thrive. I'm not far from civilization, as I called it, because in Tonkawa, you just drive 10 minutes over to Ponca City and terrorize the Walmart there. And
that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent time around there. I know where it is.
And so, as soon as I step foot on the campus, it was like, okay, I'm coming here. But I also had the same mindset with like, this was the only place that really called me and sought me out for being a cheerleader, essentially. And so I was like, I'm going to give it a try. If I don't like it for a year, I can just go back home. Mm-hmm. No big deal. That year, going into Hillsdale, I was living with a friend in Piedmont. And again, stepmom didn't want me home.
That's a long drive.
Yeah. And so I worked at Frontier City. I was a games manager. That was my top 5 favorite job I've ever done.
What's a games manager?
So, like all like the little carnival games and stuff. Yeah. So I would just go to each game and make sure everything was stocked, making change. So I would be walking like 2, maybe 5, 10 miles a day because I'd have to go all the way up where that pirate ship is and then all the way down where the silver bullet is. And
that's a crazy day though, to be Piedmont, Moore, and Frontier City. That's like a big triangle.
Yes. And so then I was like, okay, I got it in the bag. I secured the bag. I'm going to Hillsdale. Now I need to get ready. It's got to get back in the mindset. So I picked up a membership at Gold's Gym up by Quail Springs. Mm-hmm. And how it went was I went to work at Frontier City. went to Gold's Gym, worked out, sat in the sauna, I ate right. I did all the things. I drank a gallon of water a day. And then the tornado happened. And so I was like, well, crap, do I still have a school? Like, what's going on? And then my workouts just kind of like stopped because I was more focused on one, working, and two, helping out at the campus as much as I could, because they were also like a home base for, sorting items and getting it ready for people who needed it, and helping clean the dorms. So when they housed people, I was helping that. Because as soon as that tornado happened, I texted Coach and I was like, hey, anything I can do to help, I want to help. It's going to be my new home, so this is what I want to do. And she was like, all right, cool, let's do it.
And that was 2013 then when that happened? Yeah.
Yes. Was it junior year? Oh gosh, it was probably my best year.
You had 2 years there. Okay.
Played 2 years. I was there for 3. Yeah, I was there for 3, played for 2.
Yep.
Golly, that team was something special. We had Aaron, Ashley. Oh gosh, we had everybody. And that team was probably my favorite team. BG and T and such a good. And we ended up winning the NCCAA, or no, the ACCA. There you go. We ended up winning the national championship. And so it was something special, something awesome.
And that's your first year there?
Yeah, first year there. And I from the get-go, I felt like warmth. I felt like, okay, this is where I'm meant to be. This is where I belong. And it was awesome. Coach G still is an amazing coach. Like,
always, yeah.
I leaned in on her a lot that year, and I worked hard. And then summer hits, and Coach Mo was like, "We need you to lose 30 pounds." And I was like, "Okay, like no big deal. I got this."
Is that because you had a role, like you were playing?
Yes, I was hype Hannah. I was the hype man, but I got tired easily. My stamina was not there.
So they almost couldn't afford to play you a lot because you get burnt out. Okay.
And so it was like, I would have good couple 3-4 minutes and then hit that brick wall, and then I'd be done. And so she's like, we just think you need to lose 30 pounds. You're 230 right now. Get down to 200 by the start of basketball or start of school, and you'll be good to go.
That gives you May to August.
So I was like, all right, 3 months, 10 pounds. Let's do this. Well, I can do it. No big deal. So then I got my membership back at Gold's Gym. I was still working at Frontier City. So I was living with Ashley Scott that summer, and on campus. And so I'd wake up at 4 a.m, get to Gold's Gym at like about 4:30ish, work out, sit in the sauna, take a shower, go to work. And then I'd come back and I would just hoop the rest, because there was always hoopers there late at night. It was 24 hours.
Pickup sessions.
Oh yeah. I got to play with Perry Jones III. Russell Westbrook was there. I didn't get to play with him. I just kind of sat and was in awe.
I watched Perry Jones when I was playing at a gym one time, and I was just shocked because of how big he was.
Yes.
He did a Euro from the 3-point line and dunked it. And I was like, there's levels. Like, because sometimes there's talent levels, and there's some people at, whatever level that is just super talented. But then, like, being 6 to 9 or 10, but moving like that, it was crazy. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
Like, I saw him pick up the ball at the 3 and then Euro and dunk, and I was like, oh, shit.
like, where did this dude come from?
I'm not surprised that you said the level of people in there for the pickup, because I obviously knew it was great when I was there. But when I look back, I'm like, those summer sessions are insane.
Yes.
Like, that's wild.
Yes.
And so when you were there in 2013... would that be?
It would be between 2014 and 2015, that summer right there.
Okay. Yeah. So right around when I was there too.
Yes. So it was I think it was your freshman year probably.
Or my freshman basketball year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did the same thing. I went and did basics.
And so...
so you're playing in the summers?
Yep, playing in the summers, balling, grinding. I worked out with Kayla. She had graduated, and it was right when Herbalife just started booming and getting big. And so... she got me hooked on the Herbalife shakes, and so I would pre-make my shakes. I made, I'll never forget it, either chicken, green beans, and rice. That is what I ate consistently every day, maybe a fiber bar here and there. So yeah, and I started seeing results. I started seeing it in my face, inches, my clothes, everything.
How'd you feel?
I felt amazing. Like I was drinking 1 to 2 gallons of water a day because I was walking up and down at Frontier City, and it's 100-degree heat, so I'm obviously sweating everywhere I go, and I felt great.
Yeah.
But then coach was like, okay, I'm not seeing the results I want, so you're going to do weekly weigh-ins, and you got to keep a food journal. I was like, okay, cool, cake. I can do this. No big deal. And so, I felt like on my end, I was doing the things I needed to do. I was losing the weight. I was getting my stamina up, my strength. My shot was damn near perfect.
You're getting reps. That's all I remember is your shot. So.
Yes. It was damn near perfect. I finally got it down to where I liked it. What my release point, like my starting point, like it was all in motion. And then I tore my MCL.
In that summer?
Yeah, no, it was school started. Like I got down to 215 weight wise. But
you also something to think about with that too is you were putting in so much work that you probably could have been at 205.
Had to.
But you're toning as well, so you're probably sticking some of that weight on.
And I would cry before I would go in weekly weigh-ins because Coach Mo wasn't ever there during the summer. It was always Coach G. And I would cry to her and be like, I don't think I'm going to make the weight that you guys want me to. I'm doing the things. Like Megan, that was when she was a graduate assistant. I was working out with her 2 or 3 times a week before I would go to Frontier City and work or on my days off. And I was working my butt off. I was doing the things. I hated it. I'd have to run that dreaded 1.5 miles around the campus. And I was doing the things, but it wasn't showing on the scale where it needed to show. And I dropped, I think 3 or 4 pant sizes. It went from a 22 to a 16.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I was in great shape. I had abs.
So were they pleased or was it down to the number?
The number. Coach Mel wasn't happy with it. And I hate saying it that way because I still have high respect for Coach. Always will. She gave me a chance at a 4-year school. But it was in that moment I was like, well, shit, what do I do now? And how it was interpreted, if you don't lose this weight, you don't get to travel and play.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, it's do or die. Let's do it. Well, then we all come in for school, off-season workouts. We're doing running up the hill at the soccer field. And I felt something pop. And I was like, you know what? I didn't really think of it at the time because my knee just starts swelling up. But I was like, oh, it's just because I'm overworking. No big deal. I'll just take some ibuprofen. Well, then it just started getting progressively worse. It was to the point where I couldn't bend my knee.
Just so much swelling.
Yes. And I went to the team trainer or whatever, and he was like, you should probably get this looked at. And I looked at Coach, and I just started crying. I was like, I'm so sorry. I let you down. I let the team down. I thought I did this. I thought it was awful. It was the worst thing. Went in for the MRI and everything. Boom, tore an MCL. I was like,
and that's surgery, right?
Yeah.
Is it still surgery?
Yeah.
No?
And so they went in laparoscopically, so they didn't have to take anything and reattach it. But it was just devastating. It was my second knee surgery in 3 years, and so I was like, this is stupid. What now? So that whole first half of my senior season, I didn't play any games. I didn't get to travel. Junior year, we went to Philadelphia and played in a tournament up there, and I did amazing up there. And then my senior year, we're going to Florida. So I was like, let's go. I didn't even get to go. I was like, all right. So I would watch the games live, and I would tweet from my Twitter account, and I would keep it up for everybody. All the parents that couldn't go, I was like, hey, tell your parents to follow me. I'm just going to tweet updates. I'm just going to do updates. And I was doing that. I was still the hype person. But then I really started getting in my own head. I started getting a little toxic with my friends, my teammates.
How so? What do you mean? Just
saying things that are just not just out of character for me. I called a teammate a twat waffle.
Well, that sounds like you're kidding.
Because I was mad that she didn't want to help me study for the test. It was the volleyball coach at the time. That was the science teacher. I forgot his name. But his classes are always known to be hard as shit. And so I was like, damn it. And so I was like, you know what? You're a twat waffle. And Then I went back to coach, and then I had to talk to Dean Brashear, Dr. Brashear, and I was like, at first it was interpreted that I called Coach Mo that, and I was like, no. I called this teammate that because she and I, like, we played together at NOC, and we always called each other that. So I was like, I didn't realize it's not okay now. And like, yeah, I realized now that I was in a Christian campus, a Free Will Baptist campus at that.
Don't even get me started, though. That stuff is wild.
Yes.
On what does and doesn't matter.
Yes. Like wearing sweatpants to school, like get over yourself.
Like, don't you dare wear shorts. It's like, what?
Like, are my ankles going to, attract a man?
Bro,
like,
it is a very multifaceted place.
Yes.
So did you start like only experiencing anger? Was it depression as well?
I think that's when depression started hitting, and then high anxiety, and then anger. I was just an angry person. Then
stemming from not being able to play, and then like putting in all that work and it not working.
Yeah, and I lost all that weight. Like I was in the best shape of my life, honestly. I look back on those pictures and I'm like, damn, I messed this up. But then I also I started. She gave me the challenge again that I just need to lose that last 15. So then I started taking hydroxycut pills, the pills and the drink mixes. And then I would drink a cup of black coffee, package of saltine crackers, maybe an apple.
In the day?
Yeah. That was my diet. And then I worked at the cafeteria at the Dale. So
at the Dale? I haven't heard that one.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'd work at the cafeteria with Mike, and I would be sneaking like the little bites here and there. Because I knew, like, if any of my teammates or if anybody on campus saw me eating something that wasn't healthy, that it would get back to coach. And so I was like, I just got to, take it in the back and just eat there. But I never really ate. It was black coffee only, packaged saltine crackers, an apple or an orange, and then my hydroxycut pills and drink packages. So, and then I was just chewing down ibuprofen like it was candy after my surgery. So,
what were you experiencing during that time, mentally and physically? Were you noticing changes on either?
Physically, I was shaking. It was like I was on crack, honestly, because those hydroxycut pills.
It's like a bunch of caffeine to make you burn.
Insane amount. And then like the fat burners and then like the appetite blockers all in it. I had just reached out to, or I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were like, yeah, here, take these pills. Like, this is what it is. This is how we lost weight like that. And I was like, all right. And then a dude from the baseball team was like, oh, yeah, all you got to do is just drink chicken broth, like bone broth, and you'll poop it out, basically, and you'll be good. And I was like, okay, cool. I was doing all the little shortcuts instead of what I did that summer. Now, had I stuck with that routine over the summer into the school year, I probably would have been fine, honestly.
But that's a lot to deal with, of like, one, having the strict rules, but then like feeling like you have to eat in the back, or not really in control of your emotions right now because you have all these stimulants.
Yes.
So I bet, like, I don't know, I feel like that would be where you'd get in the most trouble.
Yes. And that's when I did get in the most trouble. I wasn't a good teammate. I wasn't a good person. I focused more on just getting shots up when I was out for my surgery, tweeting live from the games or recording the games and stuff for film. And it was rough. It was rough. And I regret a lot of the things that I did. Like, if I could just do like one big apology and how I treated everybody back then, I would do it. But I don't have the balls to, honestly.
So you were dealing with like so much anger that you're like, just lashing out, doing the bare minimum, but then inside is like a huge battle.
Yes. And then I got involved with Elevate Church. It was started as a Christian Danforth. Christian Sloan at the time. She said, hey, come with me to church one Wednesday night. I need someone to help me with games for youth. I was like, okay, cool. I got this. And then instantly felt a connection. I was like, this is where I think I should be. Like, this is what I want to do. Because I had an influential youth leader growing up in high school. I called her Mom. My dad was gone a lot for the Army and everything back in high school. And so I would always need a place to stay. So I'd stay at my uncle's or stay at Christy's, my youth leader's house. And so I was like, you know what? Christy did this in my life, so why can't I do this to somebody else's life?
This is why you're still going to school.
Yes. And so I was like, all right, I want to get involved. So then I started going to church at Elevate because they rented the building. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I got involved with them. So it was about Christmas time. Go to the team Christmas party. We all get Christmas gifts. And I'll never forget this moment, how I felt. We all got like shooting shirts, kind of like dry fit shirts. And they were badass. I can't remember what it said, but they're so clean. They were so cool. They were gold and had the blue lettering. Yeah. Oh, it was so dope. And then I see Coach Mo and Coach G whispering, like looking at each other and then looking at me and pointing at me. And I was like, what's going on here? What's happening? Well, they took my shirt away because they didn't make one for me. They just put one in a bag for me so I wasn't left out. And they took it in front of everybody. I was like, all right. Damn. I was like, all right. That was that moment where I was like, now hear me out, even though I didn't do anything wrong in that moment, in my brain, in my mindset, because mentality, I was not okay. No. And I didn't know how to talk about those feelings healthy wise. Mm-hmm. And this was also like, yeah, I knew about therapy, but it wasn't as, I want to say pushed or encouraged as it is now.
No. And that's in such a short amount of time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so I cried. I came back. It was youth night Wednesday night, and I just cried. I just cried to my people who were my youth leaders with me, like my fellow leaders. Because at the time I was a youth leader, I was really heavy into church, and my people were like, "You just need to be done with this. Like, tell coach you don't want to play anymore." And I was like, "It's my senior year. Like, I'm supposed to be playing. I'm supposed to be making a difference." And so, didn't get that chance. And so I cried. I just, every night after practice, I would dread going to practice. I would, then I discovered energy drinks, those stupid C4 energy drinks. I was wigging out every practice, and I couldn't figure out why, because I was on Hydroxycut, the C4, and the black coffee, all before practice.
And when you say wigging out, just attitude-wise?
Yeah, attitude, bad body language, and just like, it was like squirrel moment times, like amplified by 100.
You're just going to be
Yes,
on
I was everywhere. And then some of the girls started some more drama, but this time it wasn't me. I can fully say it wasn't me. Like senior night was coming up, and all the seniors start and stuff. And there's two of us. It was me and Reagan. And this one girl, she was like, yeah, like Hannah said, she's going to start. She's going to start the last 3 games of the season. And I'm like, no, I didn't. So I went up to both coaches, and I just started crying again. They're like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, this girl is saying that I am saying I'm starting every game the rest of this year. And that's not true. I want it to come from me to let you know. Like, I'm not saying that. I said, I don't care if I start or not. I'm not even inviting my family to senior night because I know there's a chance I probably won't play. And Coach Mo looked at me and she's like, why wouldn't I play you on senior night? And I'm like, well, because of everything that's been happening. Like, of course I'm not going to play. And she just kind of walked off. And I was like, okay. And so, I mean, mind you, this is also the same team when I got my knee surgery. No one called, checked in on me. Coaches didn't call or check in on me. Not even my own dad called and checked in on me. I was sitting at my aunt's house with,
take a drink if you need to.
Yeah, no, you're good. Sitting at my aunt's house, where her mom had stage 4 cancer, mm-hmm. and Grandma Lynette was taking care of me while she was taking care of herself with cancer. And so, but I had to be down for the Hudaberg tournament, or that was sponsored by Hudaberg down in Hillsdale. Mm-hmm. I had to be down there. And so, but no one on my team checked in on me and see how I was doing, if I needed anything.
So that added to when you came back and started all the stimulants, because your emotions are just all over.
Everywhere. And so
and you don't know what you're assuming, what's real, what's not real.
No, yeah. At that point, I had no idea if it was anxiety or if it was my brain or anything.
Where if these people are being nasty, like there's so many moving parts.
Yes. And I couldn't get on social media and express my feelings because Coach had followed all of us and would subscribe to us. So that way, if we were to tweet about her or anybody bad, she would know, and we'd just go ahead and get that punishment right then and there.
So psycho.
And so, And so I didn't really get to post much. So I just, I would post like sad lyrics. Like,
well, you didn't know how to deal with your feelings.
No, I really didn't. I wasn't taught a proper way. And growing up, I wasn't taught a proper way either. We were taught to lift the rug, sweep it under, and then go.
And you weren't even used to, besides emotional stability, you didn't even have like physical stability.
No.
So you're bouncing around all these places, not knowing what's fully yours, what's not. And then everywhere you go, even if it was meant for you, it's like you almost wanted to commit, which is a good thing because some people would maybe be on the other side where they didn't like anything because nothing was ever fully there. Mm-hmm. You were like latching onto stuff. So when it didn't go the way your mind thought, maybe it like felt a lot more devastating.
Yes.
Or like with you crying with
yes.
You. It's like, no, this is all I got.
Yeah. Like this is me. And then, it just got worse progressively. Like I wasn't making my rent payments on time or at all. So basically I was working at Hillsdale and they would just take my check, what I made at the cafeteria.
For tuition or?
For my rent at the apartments on campus.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, since you're not paying us, we're taking your checks. And I was like,
dang, so now I'm really not getting money.
Right. Like, all right, cool. So then I went out and hustled. Like I know how to do. I went to practice, did the games. And then I was working at Burger King, house sitting, babysitting, doing all the things that I could just to get some money. And then senior night comes around and I didn't invite my family. I told my mom and my dad, but then my grandma came up from Texas and, which was pretty cool because when we went down to, I want to say Arlington Baptist, but I know that's not right.
It wasn't Dallas Christian? Was it the purple one? Which one was it?
Oh, it was in Arlington. That's all I remember.
You don't remember the color though?
No, because we beat them. We beat them for the ACCA championship.
It could be Arlington then, because there's like 3 in that area.
Yes, and then it was like a maroon school, like a maroon.
I think that's Arlington.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and so then we lost to my senior year in the national championship too. It was just because they had 2 D2 transfers to come in. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, seriously.
But my grandma got to come up because that was, they didn't have a gym. It was on the stage. So like you're watching it from like in an auditorium theater on a stage, the game.
Okay, I did. That is Arlington.
Yes.
I went to that game.
Yeah.
Not your girls one, but I went and watched the guys one time.
Yeah. My grandma came up from New Braunfels, Texas, which is down by San Antonio.
Yep.
So
Austin and all that.
Yeah. And grandma wanted to know like what hotel we were in and everything. So coach like let her know what hotel we were staying in. And so that was pretty special. That was a core memory. Like I got to eat breakfast with grandma the day of the game. And
that's cool. And you won that time?
Yeah, we won.
That's a good day.
So it was awesome. And I remember making like, if you played in the game, you got to have like fruit snacks for like that sugar rush, that energy boost. So Megan was like, Mo, you're going to need some fruit snacks. So I was like, oh, I'm playing. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, senior night happened. I got to play probably 90% of the game.
Wow.
I balled out.
Off the injury too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think I was probably about 2 months after post injury. So, or not 2 months. So that's a little bit stretched, but like it was post injury definitely.
Yeah, and you played well.
Yeah.
Nice.
I played, I always joke about it with my travel boys, my AAU team. I'm like, yeah, I still got eligibility left. Technically I got 2 years left. Like, cause I only played like 5 games my senior year. And if you want a medical red shirt, all you have to do is play a minimum of 5 games. And for it to count, I did my research because I was going to try and transfer out, but then no one was going to take my Bible credits. So I was like, damn it.
Dang, I never thought about that. That's what people would tell me at the school is like, we got to finish here because no one's going to take the transfer.
Exactly. Because if you were to go to like UCO or anywhere else, that you would start over as a sophomore or a junior.
So much work.
Yes. And it just wasn't worth it.
After the game, though, like, were you on another high?
Oh, yeah. I was on another high. Family was there. My mom loved the coaches and everything. I never told my mom or dad anything that happened because I wanted that picture perfect picture basically for them. I didn't want
college athlete. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't want them to know the struggles that I was going through.
Yeah.
So, got done with basketball and then, I started noticing that there were some people in the lockers that had letters like, here's an opportunity for you to go play overseas. And I was like, well, where's mine? I didn't get one. And I didn't really get an explanation, but I was like, all right, cool. So then I started searching, where can I go for open tryout? Where can I go do this and this? And I had actually had a tryout secured over in Florida. It was for a team in Italy. I was going to go. They were willing to see me. It was like a big open gym tryout and stuff. I was willing to go do it. But then my associate pastor at Elevate, Rhett Burnett, Papa Bear is what I called him, he said, Hannah Banana, you're fixing to graduate college. Do you have a job? And I said, no. And at the time, he was undersheriff for Cleveland County. And he was like, I need good people at the jail. Go work at the jail. I said, okay, give me an application. And he hands me a book. Because law enforcement.
Would you be like a officer?
Yeah, I was a detention officer. I was there for 3 years. And then that's just kind of, after basketball ended, I kind of latched onto that and made that my identity and fixation, like the ADHD fixation. And, now talking about it and looking back on things, like that's kind of where I noticed, like, I just got diagnosed with ADHD or autistic ADHD about 4 years ago when I first started teaching, because I saw it in students and I was like, we're matching abilities here. And so I joke with my mom all the time, and I was like, years of academy wasted. Like, you could have got me on an IEP and I could have been so much better. And she's like, oh, well.
All right. What happened with the trial? You just ended up not going?
I didn't go because I got the job at Cleveland County. And so I wanted to stay home. I had lived with, I was living with Joe Weiss at the time, and then Preston Robertson, Batman.
Yeah.
Still
I was actually texting him the other day.
Yeah, I hang out with him a lot.
Yeah. We text frequently.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to go watch him play next year. Not him, but doesn't
his
he
team?
coach at Southeast?
Yeah, Santa Fe South.
Santa Fe South.
Yeah, I actually.
Similar area.
Yeah, I actually got him and his wife jobs there because that's where I started my teaching career.
So you teach there now?
Not anymore.
But you were?
Yeah, long story short. But so yeah, I got into working at Cleveland County, and then every Wednesday we'd go to the First Baptist Church in Moore, me, Joe, and Preston, because I had Wednesday, Thursdays off, and we'd go at the open gym and hoop up there. And then my buddies at Norman PD would go to some elementary school in Norman, and we would play from 8 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock at night, all day Wednesday. And so, basketball was always there for me, but it just wasn't, it didn't give me what I wanted it to give me. So I had to find another identity. And then working in law enforcement, anxiety comes with it, and major depression.
Why major depression? Just because you're seeing people in bad situations? Or?
I think so. I was really letting it get to me, honestly, because law enforcement, it's not known. It's very well known that it's a male powered thing. Does that make sense? There's not a lot of women in high up in law positions.
Got it.
And I wanted to be a deputy on the streets. I wanted to be a canine officer. I wanted to do it. I was trying to do it. I don't have a mean bone in my body.
Yeah.
And when you work in a jail, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to be mean and everything. And I'll never forget it. This female inmate said, that smile's going to go away. Give it about 6 months and it's going to go away. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it's your first day? I was like, yeah. She goes, yeah, it's going to go away in 6 months. And she was right.
What was that like? Because I feel like we're similar as far as just positive people, even though you're talking about depression stages and things like that, but just genuine niceness. What were some situations you think that turned you a little bit in there?
Being away from my family, because, my dad is in Kansas, mom's in North Carolina. I was struggling to find who I was as an adult.
And you're working at a very shitty environment.
Yes.
Yeah. And just as far as for growth.
Yes.
I don't know how much personal growth you do working as an officer in that type of situation.
Right. I knew going into law enforcement, I wanted to give back to the community in some way. So I really dove into community service. I did that. I did, shop with the cop, which is my all-time favorite thing. Cause that when we first moved to North Carolina, after my parents had divorced, my mom got a job at a Title I or whatever school, low income school. And her coworker, her husband was working for the Greensboro Police Department in North Carolina. And she nominated us to go shop with the cop. And I will never forget that day because that meant something. Mom was struggling raising me, an angry child at that, because parents divorced, daddy's girl. I thought it was all mom's fault. Turns out it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, right.
But I was just angry all the time. And so I remember, we got nominated and we got to get clothes, shoes, anything from Walmart that we wanted. We had the best Christmas that year. That was A1 right there. It was awesome. Right. So I was like, you know what? This happened to me as a kid. I want to do that too. I want to give back. I've always been a person of, I guess, a people pleaser, but I've always wanted to do it in a public way so that I felt like I was being a good person. And that's kind of how where I recognize now that it was just kind of toxic, honestly, because I wanted self-recognition. I wanted to do it for the fame, not for the glory or just trying to be humble. I wanted to do it because I wanted to be that guy.
So like when you were helping in the church or helping with the community, you wanted to do it, but you also wanted someone to like say, hey,
validation.
Good job for doing
yes. It. Yeah. I wanted to be the yes man, basically. And, that I just started the more I said yes, the more I started getting down on myself because I was just stretching myself too thin. And I've never been good with budgeting money or money in general. So as soon as I got paid, I paid rent, the utilities, phone bill, and then I would go blow it. Like tax income returns would come and I was gone in 60 seconds. I just never really had something stable, honestly.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. You weren't ever really shown stability, though.
No, never.
It's weird how it can stick with you.
Yes.
Because it wasn't just like your living situation, but like with your people, too.
Yeah.
You're daddy's girl, but living in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But it's low income. Then you go and live with him, but now it doesn't work because stepmoms, you're like, now my dad has a new life. Then you're living with your mom's friend. Then you're living with a friend at Hillsdale. Like, it's a lot of... kind of doing it on your own. And you don't realize how that it can affect you. Because you were kind of just not winging it, but just kind of, I guess, winging it.
Yeah, I was there.
Those years, Yeah. Where am I staying now? What activity am I attached to that's giving me some type of purpose? Right.
And so, I've always been I'm obviously a sociable person. It's been on my report card since kindergarten.
Like she's struggling with this, but she can really talk.
Hannah is a very sociable child. Like in second grade, I don't like spicy things. My dad has always been in food service industry, some shape. And so he would give my teachers a little bottle of Tabasco sauce, like the little travel size bottles, and be like, if Hannah's talking too much, put this on her desk and make her drink it. It's
That's so funny.
So it was a joke, like we're passing along the hot sauce with all her teachers.
People are being bad.
So I just wanted to find my place in the world. I wanted to be stable. And then it took, living with Joe and Preston in that house that I had. I was there for 8 years. That was probably the most stable I've ever been in my life. Physically now, financially wise or mentality wise.
Still figuring it out.
Still figuring out. And then.
What was it like though, having a place for 8 years with some good people? Because Joe and Preston are good.
They're freaking amazing. They're like my little brothers. Yeah. I mean, Preston's kids call me Aunt Hanny. So and I'm so close with them now. I was in his wedding. And so, it was good. It was good people. They were able to help recognize hey, Mo, this is not what needs to, this isn't good. You need to really try and help yourself before you help others and stretch yourself thin. And so it was really nice to have someone hey, I called it gut punches, give you the hard truth when you don't want it. And so, Joe and Preston at that time were really good about that. Hey, let's not, we don't have the money to do this. So let's just chill here at home with the dogs, play Fortnite or whatever game we were on till 2, 3 in the morning. And let's just do it that way. So.
But at least they were helping kind of reel in, not only on the financial side, but just your general sense to always go.
Yes.
They're no, it's okay to sit here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. They can kind of give you a little bit of stability like we've talked about, but also maybe seeing other people not in as much of a rush to outsource, maybe was giving you an example as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then 2019, I call it I guess the comeback or the epiphany that I had. Got super drunk off of Smirnoff Ice, whole 24 pack. I don't know why. I don't know.
That sugar rush was crazy.
Yeah. Boom. I find out I'm a type 2 diabetic.
I'm only laughing because of Smirnoff.
Yes.
Like, I found out I was a diabetic after 8 pounds of Skittles.
Yeah. And so, now that I'm deep diving, like I'm in the thick of it with diabetes. So my parents have it. Like it was going to happen. My brother is the only fortunate one out of my immediate family that doesn't have it, and it's nuts. But realizing that my anxiety, depression, my eyesight, hearing, diabetes affects everything in your body. And so until I had met Katie, my wife, because I came out in September 2019, but really I was in therapy, and the therapist was like, well, so what are you? Like, are you a lesbian, bisexual? Like, what are you? I was like, I really don't know. Like, I'm just...
Yeah, because you don't even know you all the way. Yeah.
Right. I was like, honestly, I love who I love. I can't help that. And that's what I go by. I don't have a label. I don't do the pronouns. I don't do any of that. Honestly, pronouns confuse me, and I stay confused 25.
You're like, I'm already confused.
Right. Like, just because I'm medicated doesn't mean I'm still good.
Yeah, right.
But, 2019 was a very pivotal year. I came out, I kind of came to terms with, okay, I think I like both men and women, and whatever happens, happens. And then I met Katie, and she really helped me figure out, like, hey, the reason why you're having these racing thoughts, that's anxiety, bro. Like, you need to go get some help. And when you're down and you're feeling down and you feel like, you can't get out of bed, that's depression. So you need to go get that figured out too. And then she's like, if you don't feel like you can talk to me, then hey, let's find a therapist. She really helped me kind of connect the dots. So up until it was 2019, 2025, about 6 years ago, I had no idea what was wrong with me until she was like, hey, these are some signs. And like Joe and Preston helped me as well. And it just, now looking back on it, I'm like, man, no wonder I crashed out when I did in those moments in college. No wonder I was so toxic, because I had no idea what was going on with me. Right. I didn't have someone sit me down and say, hey, this is what's happening, and this is what we're seeing. So this is what needs to happen. This is what we suggest you to go do. We can't force you to do it, but this is what we suggest you to go do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you had a bunch of outlets around you in general at that time to reach out to.
Yeah.
So you're not only like without resources, but then you're going through all those battles. So you don't know what to do.
No.
You're just trying to make the day good.
Exactly. I'm just, like you said, we're positive people, we're high energy, and that's how I just always been labeled my whole life. I've always been that like go-to hype person. And it took some like really soul searching. Like I was deep into travel softball, coaching that. And I realized, I was like, man, I'm being really negative towards my players. Like really, like my sarcasm, it can be very dry at times. But
it was starting to get rude.
Some of the kids would like spit it right back. And then other kids are like, Coach Hannah, you're not the Coach Hannah that we know.
Ouch.
And I was like, oof.
Like, hey, man.
Wow. All right. And then so I got out of law enforcement. I was in it for 7 years. I worked for a couple different agencies, and 4 years ago, I got a job as a PE teacher at Santa Fe South. And talk about a dream job. It was amazing. And then let the anxiety get best of me. And then I lost my dream job. And then now I'm teaching kindergarten, the paraprofessional basically, but I'm working towards getting certified as a teacher and whatnot. So I'm at a different school, and it just, those bits and pieces just kind of really help me shape like, okay, you have high anxiety, you have, seasonal depression, manic depression, whatever.
What's the difference?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I just know
I'm trying to do better about not just agreeing when I don't know.
That's
because I do that a lot.
Yes.
Where I'm like, yeah, okay.
yeah, that sounds great.
And I'm like, okay, but I don't know. Manic sounds like panic, but I don't know if that's the same thing. So I try to ask.
I know seasonal depression. So like if it's raining and if it's like real gloomy outside, then I'm gloomy. So I'm like, oh, that's totally
a good one.
Yeah. And so, and then I discovered, autism, ADHD, like I get overstimulated and I gotta have an order of level of chaos, but then I just chaotically let it go. Like it's very weird how it kind of like interacts and counteracts with each other.
What was therapy like?
Therapy, I'm still in it.
Yeah.
My therapist, no, you're good. Therapy, my therapist, she gives me a gut punch all the time. Allie would be like, so
who's Allie? That's
my therapist. Yeah. She would just be like, yeah, you're definitely ADHD, but like, here are some things that like we can work on and get to do better. And, or if she'll, I'll be on a mid rant in a session and she's like, now, Hannah, let's reel it back in. Now let's take a deep breath, ground ourselves. Okay. So why were you feeling these things? Why did you do this instead of the right option?
Yeah, because sometimes, and this is like syncing up with what I just said, when I'm like, don't just agree, like just stop. Because sometimes you want to like talk so much or say so many things, whatever, that person can say, yeah, I get it while you're doing this. You're like, cool, validation, we can move on. Sometimes you can like talk your way into believing like, no, I didn't freak out.
Right.
Or, no, I didn't do that wrong.
Right. No,
yeah. You're like this, right? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, all right.
Yeah.
So you need that person to check.
Yeah.
And it was always one-on-one therapy, or did you ever do group therapy or anything?
One-on-one therapy.
Nice.
So, but yeah, then here I am. I got a travel basketball team. Been doing that for 3 years.
Wow.
15. I always.
What age is it? Sorry.
15 boys. So
Dang.
coaching eighth graders and freshmen, and man, they're like my kid. I don't have a kid on the team, so like they're my kids. And so like I hang out with them like they're my own kids. Like every Saturday we're hooping either at the YMCA anywhere or we're at the station in Moore and we're hooping for 3 hours until they kick us off. And then we come back Sunday night and we do skills night and we're hooping there. And so.
And you're the head coach?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I just now started a third and fourth grade team for boys. So.
Why boys? You just chose boys, or is it a reason?
I tried coaching middle school girls basketball and middle school softball. I tried. And they're just too much. Boys were like, yes, coach, we got it. Girls like, well, but why? And I can't do this because I'm crampy. I'm not just going to miss practice. And I'm like, I'm a girl too. Get on the field. What you doing?
What are you getting from the coaching side for the boys? Like, I know
camaraderie.
Back. Yeah, like what are you?
Camaraderie, and it's just a sense of family. Because the Oklahoma Royal Legacy, we're premier athletics now. We're bougie now.
Is that in Norman?
We're kind of everywhere, honestly.
I feel like I've seen that name.
We've it was started out in Norman. Now we're in South OKC. We're Midwest City, Choctaw, Hera area. We just started a Texas Legacy chapter now down in Dallas and Fort Worth area. So we're moving and grooving.
Do you feel like mentally now you're in a better space to where it's not like a people pleasing aspect? That's like literally your community?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because for a long time I had a very hard time saying no. And then it wasn't until I got into therapy and I was like, oh, so it's okay to say that? Like I can say it and not, and be okay with it, no repercussions. My therapist was like, yeah, sometimes you don't even have to give an explanation. You can just say, no, thank you, and walk away. And I'm like, whoa.
It's the simple thing.
Powerful.
I was talking to somebody, I can't even remember right now, but they brought that up. They're like, just because I don't want to. And I'm like, why does that seem so hard?
Right.
It's like their example was they were just venting. But they're like, when someone texts me to do something, I tell them I can't and then why. And it's like, I should just tell them I can't. And I'm like, yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
I think since we are so people pleasing, we want to make sure they know that you really would if you could.
Yes.
But that's that anxiety. That's like
Yes.
you're thinking of stuff that may not even happen. You
Yeah.
can just say like, no, I'm good.
Right.
For me, it came out like in compliments.
Yeah.
So I didn't like receiving them. And I was climbing, and this guy was like, man, you did really good on that. And I was like, cool, but you should have seen my wife do it. She was killing it. And he's like, all right. And then he did it. And I was like, hey, man, you did good. He's like, thanks, bro. And just moved on. And I was like, it's just like you said, without explaining, like, just thanks. Or
Yes.
no. It's like, I don't know where it came from, if it's our childhood or like commotion, what made us feel like we had to have like this super explanation for everything.
Right. And that's that people pleaser right there. Like, and the guilt that comes with anxiety. Like, you know, like I told you earlier today, like I was nervous and so I almost canceled. And I was like, no, wait, like there's something clicks if that makes, that was a different topic. I'm sorry. But
no,
like,
this is perfect.
It's just like, you know, you let the anxiety get best of you and you always feel like you have to over explain things when really you can just say, no, thank you. And just move on.
Explain that though. What was the feeling today?
I was just more nervous than anything, just because I spoke about my personal experiences in college and, you know, what if my coaches hear this? What if that? And yeah, I don't have a relationship with them now. Like I don't coach with them. I don't work with them. I don't talk to them every day. So why am I afraid?
Even if you did, you shouldn't be afraid. You know, you got to say your piece.
Yeah.
But you were feeling nervous of like speaking your own story.
Yes. Yeah. Basically.
How do you feel?
I feel great.
Cool.
Like,
cool.
Yeah. Like I told you, like, you know, just seeing the good things that you're doing on social media, and then how I started listening to your podcast when you came out with it. I was like, you know, if he can just talk about the keep going aspect of things, because that's always been my mantra through everything since I became an adult. Like, just keep going, push through.
I think it's so interesting too, because with the podcast, like, I mean, you tell me if I'm tripping. Like, you didn't know much about me at Hillsdale, right?
No.
Okay.
I just knew you were a hooper.
That was all my life.
You were on the practice squad with the girls, like, and I was on the practice squad. Like,
they'd be like, "Hey, can you come play with the girls?" I'm like, "Yes." And even though some of them were nasty,
yes,
little tricksters. But like that's how I always was. I had like a core group of friends, but I just didn't share my feelings a lot, and then I did a lot of assuming and taking things personal and things like that too. And I still struggle with the taking things personal. But when I started doing the podcast, I like very quick, like probably just an episode or two in, I noticed that I was just sharing my viewpoints. And I've noticed not only in myself, but others like yourself being vulnerable. That's when the most rapport is built, like the most connection. That's when I think people receive like those lessons or gems from what someone's saying. They're just sharing their experience. And I don't know why I used to want to hold that so close. But now it feels more freeing, like you're saying, where it's like, no, I should just share my viewpoints or thoughts, or like even you talking about losing weight, like that may be something you didn't want to talk about. Like today you feel fine about it, but at 2016, if we were to be interviewing each other at Hillsdale,
I would have clammed
it wouldn't have been
shut.
something you wanted to talk about.
No.
So it's interesting to see the growth, because I noticed that when you're talking about your feelings and then like how you work through those, how you see what's serving you, what's not. Like now it seems normal for us to have that conversation, but I know 8, 9, 10 years ago, we wouldn't have even thought those things.
And I was just having this conversation, actually with Preston's wife, Renee. I was like, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to be as open as I am. I wouldn't be able to say no and not feel guilty. I wouldn't be bending over backwards, or I would still do it. But now I'm just like, I'm good. Like, it's just the growth that I've seen personally of how I was, 10 years ago to now. It's absolutely amazing. Like, I tell my boys on my basketball team that all the time. Like, if you could look like when you get to my age, and I say, I'm old, but I'm only 34. Like,
to them, you're old, but
right. And,
but we've learned that this is like the beginning.
Yes. Like this is like 30s is when you figure it out. Like this is.
It's like you finally, hopefully find some way to slow down enough.
Yes.
To where you're like, oh,
Yes.
I'm an adult now.
Yes.
And I've done this, and this seems cool, and I like this, but I don't like this, and I'm learning this. Like this, it's interesting because at that time when we were at Hillsdale, it was just a rush.
Yes.
It was a grind. It was an interesting school because it's a Bible college.
Yes.
But the sports were important. So like that's all you wanted to do, but there was a lot of hierarchy. It was just an interesting place to be. And then like for myself personally, being more of like a introvert, it probably could have served me more if I was more open to it. And it's nice to have these conversations now with you where it's like I said, it seems normal. Like what we're talking about, I'm like, yeah, me and her are like right on track.
Yeah.
But it would have been unheard of at that time. So to like see the growth is cool because that's the part that matters, you know?
Yes.
I think that's really good for you to come from a troubled upbringing, tough with college. Then it gets tougher again when you get to the university. And then you break from that routine. And then all of a sudden, and we were similar in this, we like finally didn't have 80 hours of basketball to do in a week. So you're like, what do I do? Oh, well, I'm going to just fuck off. And then you're like, oh, well, I've been fucking off too long. And it's like, it takes a while to find that balance, but it's nice to like hear someone's journey through it. Because you never know what like piece will stick out to someone, and there's someone else that's going to be dealing with something similar or dealt with it and can look back. Same way you said like, oh, I never thought about it like that.
Right.
So these moments matter. So it's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm glad you shared.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I was, like I said, I was nervous but I don't know. It's just when you would ask me like, what made you feel like you needed to share? And I was like, I felt called to do it. And
yeah. Well, I told you 2 or 3 people did it in the same month.
Yeah.
Because you messaged me. It was like, hey, I feel like I would like to tell my story. I'm like you get this imposter syndrome at first. You're like, why would you even want to tell me? But it's cool in its own right as well. And it feels normal. Like I said, we haven't seen each other in years.
Right.
Probably 8 years, 10
just
years.
Picked up right where we left off.
So I appreciate the support because you coming in and saying like you knew Shaq and you've been listening since the beginning means a lot because you never know who's listening.
Right.
But also just to share this experience is cool. So I appreciate you just as much as you appreciate me.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Yes,
so much.
man. Thank you. Thank you.